All right, slams, everyone. How's it going? Welcome back to Unfiltered. We are back again. It is me, Jamal, with Wasani, Nazish, and Anam today. And we are actually going to be talking about the younger versions of us and how we would feel about us today, how we before felt about us now, and how we feel now looking back at our older selves. So I guess before we want to start, or Anam, Nazish, Wasani, anyone chime in? Like, who were you as like a younger kid? What were your goals? What were your aspirations? And do you think they really panned out to who you are today? That's loaded, but I guess you could take it one at a time.
I guess we'll just get it going.
Yeah.
I guess for a frame of reference, right? Like, let's figure out the ages we're gonna use. So I guess let's talk about who you were as an elementary school kid, right? So for me, growing up, I think you could attest to this. Like every guy growing up, like you just want to be a professional athlete. Like that's just
Everyone
it.
wanted to be in the NBA or the NFL.
You want to be in the NFL. You get those little like, what do you want to be when you grow up? You're like, I'm gonna be a wide receiver, right? So it's not.
Mhm.
It's pretty atypical. Like that's what you're gonna get out of a guy. So my career aspirations did not pan out.
What was yours? I'm curious.
Dude, I don't know. I feel like I thought I was gonna play like pro ball. I don't even know why I thought I was gonna play pro ball. Like
Yeah.
I was 5'2", like I'm gonna play professional ball. Like how?
Yeah, at export, you were not looking like a pro bowler.
Are you talking?
All right, go on.
Are you
go
talking?
On, go
Torn
on.
ACL and all.
All
You
right,
gonna talk?
Go on.
We're here
Yeah, what the
too.
heck?
We're
So,
playing.
girls, what did you guys want to be when you were growing up?
Do it.
I honestly didn't think about that stuff in elementary school. I don't even think I was thinking about like deep down like values and stuff. I was just doing my thing. I was, elementary school, you do your school, you come home, you watch your cartoons. Like I wasn't really thinking about that stuff. And honestly, even in middle school, I wasn't really thinking about that stuff either. I think it really just kind of hit me all at once in high school. But I mean, I'll talk about more about that when we talk about high school. But what about you?
For me, it pertains to all the way to high school, the beginning of high school. You guys have seen the movie Three Idiots, right?
Yeah.
So literally, like, you know how they were like, oh, you have to be a doctor, you have to be an engineer, a lawyer, something like that. So that's kind of how I was growing up. Like, I was like, it's school. That's the only thing on my mind. Like, I'd come home and, like, watch my cartoons,
Yeah.
whatever. But that was, like, also to a limit. I didn't really care much about my social life as much. I was really just on school. So that was it.
Yo, I can't imagine that actually.
It's a blur, like that time.
No, I can't
it's a
imagine Nas
blur.
just being like that.
I mean,
Oh,
that's
really?
like
I can't
that's like
believe
the
myself
typical
like that
Daisy
either.
household.
It is,
though, if you
right?
think about it, right?
Yeah.
Like, think about the movie Three Idiots itself.
Yeah.
That's literally how the days
I feel like I could see Nas just like picking out of a hat, like, what do I want to be today? Do I want to be the engineer, lawyer, or the doctor? Boom.
I'll be this one.
No, seriously though, like, okay, so when you were in school, when you were younger, how much of your time was actually spent doing schoolwork versus like other stuff, like hanging out with friends or
100%. Without a doubt. Because, dude,
100% what?
like I was 100% like, yo, school. Because you definitely hung out with friends, right? But you were like, I feel like especially when you're growing up in a Daisy household, you're hanging out with your friends in school. Like I don't know about you guys, but I know, Jamal, you're second gen, but like being immigrants, right?
Mhm.
Like your
Damn,
parents.
exclude me like that.
I'm sorry, man.
It's all good. All right, go on.
But growing up, like your parents don't ever want to let you go to like your friend's house because
Yeah.
they're like, they don't know anyone.
Yeah.
Wait, are we
Um,
talking middle school or like elementary
I
school?
feel like even in middle school,
talking
right?
middle
Like
school.
if-
Middle
even
school,
if you
okay.
were like, even if your friends are like, oh, like my friends are gonna go to the park, and they're like, well, one, like there's not an adult there. If there is an
Mhm.
adult there, I don't know who the adult
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
right? So I feel like you always ran that conflict. But I'm curious, like,
Was anyone else embarrassed to have friends over at their house because you're Daisy
Yeah.
culture?
yes.
White friends,
I wasn't
Yeah,
allowed
like-
to.
like people that are not Daisy.
I wasn't allowed to.
It's not that I wasn't allowed to. I was too embarrassed to. Because when I was in middle school, transitioned to high school, that's when my mom first put the hijab on. And during that time, like the whole concept of hijab
Oh, I remember
was
you
new to
told
me.
us about this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the whole hijab concept was like new to me. And
Uh-huh.
looking back, it's really embarrassing to think that
Mhm.
way.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh my God, all the other kids in my school, their moms don't wear hijab. And then
Mhm.
my mom has a scarf around her head. And I felt embarrassed as like a kid. Terrible. Felt bad for my mom. But I never had like friends over because of that. But I'd always go to their house or something like
Yeah.
that. And my parents had like strict rules about that. But
Mine was because my dad would be out working, and then my mom doesn't speak fluent English, so I was like embarrassed that if I bring friends over, then like how is she gonna talk to them? And that's why, like, I mean, for a lot of reasons, I ended up just having Desi friends, but that's like one of the reasons why I never had like
that is a
white
luxury though.
friends. What?
Having this or having
Yeah.
friends
Yeah.
that could relate
Yeah.
to your culture
But
and
once
or
I got
religion.
to 207, so like I went to Maine West and
Main
Jamal
South,
went to Maine South.
D207
We
represent.
did not have any like Desis, maybe at
One.
least I had maybe
I had
Desis,
one.
but no Muslims. Like,
God.
or at least practicing Muslims. It was like there was like no one.
No, that's
so-
like a big thing.
Yeah, cause
Yeah.
that will go into that.
Yeah, that's a
but
whole
that was
different topic.
a huge thing
Yeah.
for me if I look at my younger self.
Mhm.
But sorry, we just like kind of shifted.
No, and
No,
then
no, you're
you
good.
guys went to
Yeah.
you went to Niles West.
Yeah, and I went to West and North.
Yeah.
North, yeah.
How was that
Um,
experience? Like, what was the demographic like?
Diverse, man, very diverse. But I don't know about you, right? But then I think especially when you're growing up, right? Like you're a freshman or like you're a sophomore, I think that's right around the time you think of like the concept of being like a fob. So I don't know
Yeah.
about you, but like if someone had that label associated on them,
That
like,
you don't
I
wanna be anywhere near
avoided
it.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks back to what you were saying, right? Like I think there's definitely been moments where my parents like thought like I would take pictures with them, and they felt like I avoided them. And you look back on it, you're like, yo, like you were so stupid about that.
And now you
didn't think
embrace
about
them.
it.
Now you
Yeah.
embrace the
Yeah.
culture, everything that you would never do back then.
Yeah, no, I feel like that started probably beginning of high school, like the first, like freshman year, maybe sophomore year, but definitely freshman year. Because, like, you know, you're going
Yeah.
to a new school, like, you meet these new people, you don't want to embarrass yourself.
Mhm.
So,
You care a lot
Yeah.
about what everyone says.
Way too much.
And I feel like that's more of a high school thing. I don't think I personally ever cared as an elementary school kid or like
Yeah.
a middle school kid, but I don't think I realized like, yo, people will inherently judge you on
Mhm.
whatever and whatever, right? So you're never really afraid to fit in because you kind of always. I don't know about you guys, but I always
You
felt
always
like
had
I
a
kinda
crew
just
in
fit-
middle school and stuff.
Yeah, like,
that
you
was
always
always
kind
like,
of
No,
fit
but
in.
not in general. Not everyone cared so much about like
Yeah.
your class or your status or how popular you were.
Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe
that's
in
right in
middle
high
school, but
school.
in elementary school, everyone talked to everyone.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't
it wasn't
too-
divided.
Too-
It wasn't too
When-
divided.
Yeah.
Obviously, as you got older, it started becoming more divided. But I think in high school, that's kind of when, like, it hits. Like, you know, you realize, like, okay, these are the
Yeah.
things that start mattering a lot. So then
Basketball
you kind of,
team, football
yeah,
team,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
sports,
yeah.
Everything
out of school
matters.
activities.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
kind of tend to shift yourself. And for me personally, the shift that I made was, unfortunately, I wouldn't say I was embarrassed to be Muslim, but I wasn't fully saying, like, I'm Muslim. Like,
Yeah.
you guys know, I mean, I didn't wear the hijab in high school, so, like, there wasn't really a way for anyone to know I was Muslim. Like, I mean, they wouldn't figure out just by my name if you were white or not Muslim. So I wouldn't bother saying, like, oh, I'm Muslim. Like, if they asked me, like, oh, why aren't you eating? I would just say, yeah, because I'm fasting. But I wouldn't, like, declare it to everyone, like, I'm Muslim. They would kind of figure it out by, like, me wearing modest
Yeah.
clothes or not, like, eating certain times and stuff
Yo,
like that.
I'm
But-
curious, right? So when I'm sure for you guys too, because for middle school for me, like we had like maybe 50, 60 kids, right? So you knew everyone.
Yeah.
And you were probably friends with everyone. Like you didn't have beef in
Mhm.
middle
Yeah.
school, right?
Yeah.
How quickly in high school did you see those same people change up and not be your friends anymore?
Day one, there's so many people because the thing is, so when you go from middle school to high school, you have all these other schools that come in. It's not
Yeah.
just your middle
Yeah.
school that goes into your high
Mhm.
school. So like people know other people from different schools, from like
Yeah.
outside activities, and then
Mhm.
people start forming their own clusters within like even the first few weeks.
Yeah.
So then you kind of have to find your groove there, and it's
Did-
tough.
Did
It's
y'all
tough.
have the same day one experience?
no, I think I noticed it more sophomore year
Yeah,
of high school.
I feel like I noticed the day one. Like people are
Yeah?
definitely different, like off the bat.
dude, I feel bad
Really?
because my brother's a freshman right now, but it's like everything's online.
You can't make
Oh.
So
hard
it's like
for them
socially, like I
to-
feel bad because they're literally missing their high school.
Yeah.
Like their
The
social
whole
life in high school.
experience. Yeah.
Reflecting back on your social life in high school, like, are you guys proud of how you were in high school? Would you say?
Probably not.
Mm.
Probably not.
To an extent,
Um,
maybe like here and there, but overall, I don't think so. Yeah, I wouldn't say I was. What about you?
I know we've talked about this. I think I'm the opposite of a lot of you guys. I think I socialized way too much, and I
Mhm.
didn't put in the importance of things that should have mattered. So like, I mean, I've talked about this before. Like, I didn't care too much about my grades. Like, I knew I had the ability to do well, but because I was so busy, like, and it wasn't like my parents let me go out. They didn't let me go out. Like, I still had like a strict, you know, like you can't go out and you have to come back home this time. I was just so busy trying to fit in. Like, track team, I wanted them to like me. The popular kids, I wanted them to like me. The band, orchestra, I wanted them to like me. Like, just everyone, I just wanted to be like, I was a people pleaser.
Mhm.
And I just worried so much like about all of the whole socializing thing that when it came to my grades, I was just so distracted. So looking back, I wish I just told my younger self, and I kind of hope, like, if you're in high school and you're listening to this, pay attention to your grades right now, because that's like my biggest regret if I look back, is that I wish I just cared more about my grades. And like, obviously everything happens for a reason, and I'm really blessed to be at the spot I am with my, you know, with everything. But I do wish that I cared more, because what happened is that I look back at high school and I just thought I was dumb, because I was like, I didn't get the grades that all my like Desi friends would get, like just this general thing, right? I was like, I'm just stupid. And I had this like mentality the whole high school time, and it really beat myself up. So like mental health started trickling in, like all these other things. And later I realized after graduating high school, getting away from those distractions, is that I always had it in me. I just had the wrong environment. I just had too many distractions. So that's one of the things that I always look back at my younger self, and I wish I changed that. But now I look back at it and I'm like, okay, like alhamdulillah, I changed for the, I was able to find that right path.
Everything
so.
ended up working out, and
Yeah.
I'm sure like even though you had those experiences that we could all probably relate to, you learned from it.
Yeah, of
and if you
course.
didn't have them,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have had that insight, and you wouldn't be who
Exactly.
you are today.
Yeah.
Right?
So.
The big thing she said was environment.
Yeah.
I feel like
Who you're
when
at,
you're
yeah.
younger, you don't even recognize how much your environment impacts you. Like when I was younger, I feel like I didn't realize it at all. Like I didn't think about it. But I remember like certain people had certain associations with me because of who I hung around. And they were like, oh, like you must be really, like they thought I was like bogus or rude because of who I hung around because those people were that way, right? And I don't think you ever realized, but your circle, honestly, it just reflects you in so many ways. But I feel like I also relate on the whole part about you being in your head. I feel like I was definitely in my head a lot in high school. And I think it's the same. I think you might relate to this analogy a lot. It's kind of like when you go to the gym for the first time, right? And you're scared to lift because you think people are watching you. And you realize like nobody cares, bro. Nobody's watching you.
That's
like,
why you always got to start at
lift-
like Planet Fitness, then go to Export, then you go to Lifetime when you start getting like a little bit bigger.
Yeah,
right? Like that's like
yeah.
the transition. 'Cause you're so scared of what other people think.
Yeah, exactly.
Have your parents ever warned you about a friend and have told you? I don't know. Maybe it's a girl thing.
They
but-
no, they
No,
always
it's
do
not,
that.
it's not.
Yeah.
They my parents
yeah.
even do that today.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they'll
Yeah,
be
today
like,
too. Yeah.
I'm not sure about this friend. I'm like, Mom, I've known her since preschool. What do you
or
mean?
they'll say the opposite, like, oh, he's a really good
Yeah,
guy,
yeah.
something like
Or
that.
they'll,
But then
like,
they're
end up
always
switching.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
They're always right. I don't know
I'm
how,
like,
but
I've been friends with this girl for 12 years, and 12 years later she changes on me, but you've been telling me since day one.
yeah, and you
met her
realize it
that
so
I
much
don't like this
later.
girl.
I'm
Yeah.
You
telling
realize
you,
so
but
much
your
later.
parents got all the
They
they
know
went through all this
everything.
already.
They know
They
everything, yeah.
know
They
they're
really
Trust
know
their
experts.
everything.
instincts.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because like being like my parents being like like from there, I would always think like you don't know. How would you know?
Yeah.
Like just because they're
But
like
they're
not
experienced
Desi,
too. They're experienced.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
I
thing.
would always think like they just saying that because they're not Desi.
Yeah,
Like
of
I thought that
course.
my parents just wanted me to be around. Like,
Some of that is
Yeah,
true too,
yeah.
though.
So that's true too.
Sometimes I mean,
Yeah.
parents they also what my parents wanted me to be around Muslim kids. They wanted them
Yeah.
to be around Desi kids. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
there was still that, but I think majority of it is out of love. though.
Yeah, I feel like you're not, and I feel like it's not just with friends; it's with things that you're doing, right?
Yes.
Like
yes,
I remember,
yes.
like my parents always told me, like like join more clubs. Like when I did my CTA, they were like, no, just take it one more time, see if you can get something higher. And I was always like, nah, like I'm not doing it. Like whatever, I did what I had to do.
Yeah.
And now looking back, I'm like, damn, I wish I'd scored one more point. Damn, I wish I'd done that one more club. Damn, I wish I had like tried out for this one more thing. Because then
Yeah.
I feel like I don't think we realize it, but that one decision has like that domino effect, and all these things change, right? And then you start envisioning like, yo, this could have been better, but I didn't listen. I think that speaks to me too. Like I feel like in high school I was super hard headed. Like I was like, no, I'm right,
Yeah.
you're wrong, and that's it.
Yeah.
Were y'all like that? Is that just
No,
like a
that's-
teenage thing
That
or
was
no?
the opposite for me. Like I was so easily convinced.
Impressionable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like I was like you could easily convince me to do one thing.
And thing is, bro, when you're in high school, at least me, I had no commitments outside of school.
Me neither.
So it was like, if my
literally
friends hit me
didn't.
up, hey, let's hang out, I'm down. Let's go somewhere, I'm down.
Oh
Let's
my
stay
God.
home and watch a movie, I'm down. Like
Yeah.
I had
I'm-
no
I'm
commitments. I
literally-
had
I
nothing to be like,
literally-
oh no, I'm actually doing this instead.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
no, I didn't have that.
I literally didn't have a social life. I think I want to say like up until junior year, I barely
a
hung out with
blessing.
my friends.
I loved it. Though.
Barely. Really? Okay, but I feel like
You
I don't know,
liked
it's probably
not
different for you.
I
hanging out
loved
too
it. Okay,
much?
so I had two friends. I
Okay.
had two friends all of high school.
Wait, I know what. Yeah.
And
like
looking back and then looking at so like now like alhamdulillah, I talk to a lot more people like
Mm-hmm.
as friends, and like because of that I'm introduced to so many things I didn't have to deal with in high school, like drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
like in high school, drama was like the pettiest drama because no one had anything to do.
We got a
Yeah.
whole.
But doesn't that, like,
we have a whole episode on that if you
Yeah.
want to talk about high school drama.
So I'm grateful for that. I'm
Yeah.
grateful.
But
for
doesn't
that.
it affect kind of like for me at least like it did affect how I talk to people like I
Wait, hold on.
It's weird.
For
I
do you know
had
what I
a-
mean? Like
I have
I'm
a-
not
I think
saying
I have
I'm
a unique
shy, but like
circumstance.
Wait,
sort
hold on.
of
For you though, like I feel like I know who you're talking about, but aren't you friends with those same two people still?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
To this
you
day,
you
yeah.
built really really strong bonds out
Yeah.
of it.
And they both have to be brown and Muslim. So it's like the only two in the school. So I mean, but just in general, I feel like the whole confidence factor and
yeah.
being able to talk
Doesn't
and
it like
stuff.
affect your relationship?
kinda-
with
I
other
kinda made
people,
up
like,
with it
outsiders?
Because when I was in high school, I gamed a lot. And I used to like travel to tournaments and game like semi-professionally and like make YouTube videos and do all this
Yeah.
stuff. So I was like out there in my own sense. So
Yeah.
like
Mind
I
your own
kind of
business.
yeah, I kind of like
Yeah.
compensated. Like
See,
doing
I didn't have
that instead
anything. Like
of-
all I had
yeah.
was school, and that's literally all. Like all I put my entire focus in just into school, and that's all I had. Like I want to say up until junior year.
Do you
Yeah.
regret that?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do
I was gonna say,
a
do you-
lot.
Do you
That's
guys
the
have
person
regrets?
you
You guys
were.
actually have regrets from
I
school? You guys aren't
do.
like you you guys aren't grateful like because of the
I-
fact
How
that
about
you
before-
learned a
how
lot
about-
of things?
How about before we transition to college, let's talk about when you look back at like high school you and
Yeah.
elementary school you, like are you happy with it? Are you content?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you start. Actually, not just you
Wait,
were
repeat
already
your
talking.
question again.
Like before we discuss like who you were in college, right, which is like the last 4 years or so, like are you cool with who you were in high school, in middle school, and at elementary school, right? Particularly like the high school part, because I feel like if you're watching, and, you're in high school and you feel like, damn, like things could be different. Like, do you regret it?
Okay, so I do wish that I was more social. I wish that I participated in more things outside of school, like just schoolwork. I wish I did. I wish I joined more clubs and all this and that. And I did have like a fair extent of school activities and stuff. I did that, but I feel like it just wasn't enough. But even like if I look back, I feel like what I did was enough sort of for me, because looking at who I am now, I feel like that did affect me positively. Like the person that I've grown into, I feel like that shaped me sort of.
Yeah.
So I'm not I don't completely regret it. I do regret it a little, but not so much that I would go back and change that.
Yeah.
But it did definitely affect how I talk to people nowadays. Like, like my relationship with people, it definitely affected that, and that's kind of where the regret comes in.
I asked myself that same question, but it was, I kind of dealt with it, right? Like my sophomore year of college. Because, like, that 1 year went by of college, and I'm like, damn, high school's done. Like, damn. Like, and then I was sitting there, I'm like, yo, I wish I did that. I wish I did this.
Jamal needed a full year to get out of high school.
Yeah, no, literally.
Don't you wish you
Same.
had those same
Same.
experiences and stuff like as other
Yeah.
people? I feel like you feel like you missed out.
Yeah, no, like,
'Cause it
Yeah.
doesn't hit you
Like you
right
don't
away.
It doesn't
grow
hit you
like
right
other.
away.
You don't grow
Because
like
because you
everybody
graduate, you're all
else.
excited about college and stuff. You get
Yeah.
into college 1 year in, then you're like, okay, now I can actually reflect.
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference?
Smacks you, bro.
No, but I like at that moment I realized that like even though I could have gone back and changed so many things, I wouldn't be living the life that I have right now. I'd be a complete different person,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know who that person would be.
Yep.
You know,
Every
cause I
single
yeah
thing leads
yeah.
to the place you are right now in life.
Yeah.
So
My mom always so before my brothers went to Maine South, because all three of them are at Maine South right now. She always used to ask me, hey, we should send them to Niles West. We should move out of district and send them to Niles West, because she wanted them to be around like Muslims,
Yeah.
right? And I told her, I'm like, I feel like I'd be a completely different person if I went to Niles West.
Yeah.
Because of the social construct
I
Yeah.
say the same
and the
thing
Muslims and the
about
people
MCC.
and the
Why'd
people
you
around
think about
us.
it like that?
I don't know.
No, I'm not
She's
not
like,
in a
should
negative
I
or
say
positive
this?
way.
Yeah.
But just,
No,
I would be a
forget
different
which
person.
one it is. Like, is it MCC,
Oh,
MSC?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
But
let me see.
I'm grateful that I
I'm
didn't go to
grateful
a
too.
Muslim school.
I'm grateful.
And that's not a bad thing. It's just I feel like I wouldn't have been able to
I
make the
wouldn't have
most
been
of
able
it.
to find it myself. Like, find
Yeah.
my, like, I wouldn't have been able
Identity.
to find the journey of the identity.
I would have been a
myself.
follower to a lot
Yep.
of different things that
Yep.
I'm
Sure.
happy I wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can regret it and still realize that it played a part in who you are.
Oh, definitely.
Because there's definitely stuff where I look back at, I'm like, yo, like I wish I was involved in less drama. Like, yo, I wish I didn't blow this one problem out of proportion, right? Because when you're in high school, I feel like you're so melodramatic. Like everything for you is this bogus Disney movie where it's like this happened, so this sucks. Like my life is
Yeah.
horrible. Like I'm never gonna get over it. And it's like, chill,
Yeah.
give it a week. You're not gonna remember it.
I have a question. Do you guys feel like, well, this is for me, sort of, it's like the opposite, but do you guys feel like you made too many mistakes in high school? Because
What kind of
for
mistakes
me,
though?
I just wanted like just overall like, I guess sort of like the whole regrets thing. I feel like I didn't make enough mistakes to grow as a person in high school.
I feel like
I didn't grow
I
in
feel
high
like
school.
the mistakes that I made in college, I wish I made them in high school instead of in college.
I agree with that.
Socially.
No,
I agree with that 100%.
I think I made enough mistakes in high
I
school.
feel like I made no mistakes. in high
that
school.
I
I'm-
feel like
I'm
I
literally
didn't
But I think it's
like-
because you guys live more in high school. Not in that sense, but like the
Oh,
mistakes that you
yeah.
made, like
I think
you
you're
could
saying
reflect
you
on
grow for
them.
them
You
earlier.
grew at that
grew
age.
earlier.
You
Yeah.
grew earlier. Yeah,
I wish
that's,
I
I
grew
feel like I
earlier.
didn't grow that early, and that's
Yeah.
That's one thing
that's
I'm
the
happy
problem.
about it.
I
But
agree.
I grew earlier, so then after high school, I was able
Yeah.
to blossom.
that's a wish that I had, but it's not something I regret because like
What-
it's
Yeah.
written,
Yeah,
right? Like it
everything
is what it
happens
is.
for a
Yeah.
reason.
What's up with college? You like? What do you like? So 3 of us have graduated. Nazish, you got a couple months left.
Yeah.
So what's college been like, right? Like who are you now? I feel like you took the biggest glow up because I feel like you had a lot of responsibilities. You just talked about not doing anything, and I feel like you had a lot going on in college.
Yeah, no, in college, like I think again when I made that self-reflection, like my sophomore year, like that's when I started joining. Like I joined UMMA, which is like the MSA at DePaul. then I joined the Shura, and then I became president of Ummah, and then I helped out with PSA. So I met like so many people and so many friends because I never knew of this whole plethora of like Muslim people,
Yeah.
and like
It
DePaul
was,
is like a
new
hub.
to us.
Yeah, and
That's
DePaul
Jamal was
crazy.
like,
That's so
there's
crazy.
more than two brown people
yeah,
here.
literally, bro. And then DePaul was like a hub. Like there was so many. So I'm like, oh my god, this is
Yeah.
awesome. So I met everyone. I realized everyone lives like within 10, 15
And
minutes
everyone
of
knew
me.
each other too.
Yeah, so like I was able to meet people,
Yeah.
and then like I'd meet like Maz and Mubin are like one of the first two people that I met
Yeah.
through like DePaul and stuff. So I met them, and then they introduced me to so many more people, and that's how like I met all my friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like it's been a complete different. Cause now I take on more social responsibilities, especially with the masjid, bro. Like I feel like because of the people that I met, I got to be able to be connected to the masjid. Before I
Yeah.
wasn't. Before I was like the masjid's there, I'll go pray and I come back home. But now like look, we're sitting here doing a product for the masjid
Yeah.
because we love it so
Yeah.
much.
Dude.
So it's like
I feel like you and I, considering that we're sitting in the same spot, I feel like you and I had very different paths to sitting here.
yeah.
Cause like I know you were involved in like everything, man. I remember there was this time I was leaving school. I ran into Jamal. He's like, "Yo, what's up? What are you doing here?" I'm like, "What's going on, bro?" I go. He's like, "Bro, you go here?"
I didn't even know he went to DePaul. Yeah.
Cause dude, like growing up, like freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, right? Up until senior year, like I'd always had 3 jobs, and then senior year I was able to cut it down to 1, right? But like you were doing your thing, like I was always just trying to work.
Mhm.
But then eventually, like like it's crazy because then we both still ended up back here.
Here we are.
What's up with you guys though? What was college like for you?
I think the biggest thing that for me that college was like alhamdulillah a great experience, but like I think the 2 things that stick out that now my older self is gonna look back and be like, no, I wish you did that, is I worked way too much. I did not enjoy a single dollar of Loyola, like a single penny. I didn't do anything.
At least you're able to pay
because-
for it now, though.
Yeah, right. Hey, at least those
Still
loans are
doing
going.
it, still doing it, but I didn't have time. I worked one job to another, and then I commuted. Like, just I didn't get to enjoy anything. I've never been to a
Yep.
game. I've never been to any events. Like when I would look at people and like see them like either post about it or enjoy like these little events, I would be like, I'm not taking advantage of my college years. And like people say that college life like is like one of the best times of your life, you know? So hang on to it whenever you can. I just couldn't do that. But then another thing that I always think about is high school and never stressed. Never. I was so carefree. I didn't care about anything. I was happy. My mental health was good. I don't know what happened after college. I don't know if it's the stress of being able to pay for a private institution, working all these jobs, not having as much social life anymore. I just took a huge U-turn, and I feel like I stress, and like I just don't know how to relax anymore.
Yeah.
So that's
Aw.
like those are 2 things that it's okay.
I'm like sad for you.
No, I mean I'm getting there. Like alhamdulillah, I'm working towards just like
Alhamdulillah.
giving myself time, but I took like a U-turn in that sense. So but
feel like-
sorry, I got really
Alright,
dark.
No,
but
you're good. I feel like it's before I let Naz go. I feel like it's kind of crazy that you never went to a game because like
I never
they,
went to a
they
game.
were in the Final Four one
what?
year,
What's
and
the Final Four?
and everyone,
God.
bro,
I was at your
everyone-
games.
I was at your game. Everyone went
I
to
was-
Loyola, bro.
No, I didn't know what that was.
We
like,
were all
I-
from Loyola.
That's
I
tough.
didn't know
That's
anything.
crazy.
Like just
Naz,
didn't
just go
enjoy
for it,
it.
though.
So what about you?
For me, so the first semester, because I was at UIC first, so I was kind of that same mindset, like school, that's all that matters. And then I was like,
UIC.
okay, we're not gonna talk about my UIC.
Bro, I have a funny story I heard about Nazish, but I'm gonna let her finish.
Oh my god,
first.
I'm scared. I'm so scared. But okay, anyways, that first semester, I was like, just doing my work, all of that. But then I was like, what the heck am I doing? I was like, am I really gonna spend my next 4 years how I spent my high school? So I kind of did the opposite as Anam. Like I did a U-turn, a complete U-turn, but I kind of went in the more like relaxed end. It's not that I didn't care, but for me, it was more like I didn't care much as for grades because I have like I got in touch with my creative side, which I really wanted to at a younger age. What?
Same.
Yeah, because like I never wanted to when I was a
Photography.
younger kid. I've always wanted to, but I was just it was drilled in my head that okay, grades matter, school matters, it's all that matters. But like once I actually branched out, like I put my mind to it, I was actually able to create something that I'm proud of, like the jewelry designing. I finally got myself to do it, and you guys don't know like how proud I am of myself. And I know
We're proud
younger
too.
me, younger me, the one that used to like in elementary school, I literally used to bring a sketchbook to class, and I would sit there and draw. And that was literally just it. I had that book, and that was the end of it. Like, it would stay under my bed. No one else would see it. But, like, younger me, if she saw me actually doing this today, she would be so proud because she knows that, like, what I went through in, like, school, like, all I thought about was school. I didn't care about anything else. But now I'm actually giving attention to things that I'm passionate about rather than things that are kind of forced onto me. So that's why I did the U-turn, but in the opposite way.
Yeah.
I wish I did that U-turn, but it's okay.
No. Go at your own pace.
I feel like I'm trying to fall back in that U-turn though.
Yeah.
Have you guys noticed that? Like, I guess post grad, like when
It's
you
a
get into,
confusing time.
it's a really like right now.
really
I'm sitting in really like I'm in grad school, right?
Yeah.
So I'm still in a really confused time where like I don't have all those clubs and stuff anymore. Like I hug Unfiltered. Like this is like the one thing I have.
See, that's what
But
I've
then
always
I
been
saw,
scared
I
of.
like Project Aqua, I have Unfiltered, and a few different things. But like it's still not like what I had in undergrad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like for you though, your problem is you go to school in Seattle, but you had to take it out of Chicago. Like
There's
I feel
that
like
too,
if you were
yeah.
in person,
Zoom fatigue.
yeah, I feel like if you were in
Yeah.
person, you would have loved it.
Yeah.
You would have had a lot of things going on. You would have met so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
that's one
it's
thing.
still school, and we're
Yeah.
still gonna be there. But because of Zoom, like we're all just stuck at home, and it's
Yeah.
like we're still in school. We know we've already gotten a degree, but we're getting another degree. But like, there's nothing to do, so it's just a weird time. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
start thinking about
That's
Well,
scary.
full-time
yeah,
jobs.
just the
That is
transition
scary.
of
Yeah.
it, right? Like I feel like going from 21 to 22, right? 21,
Mhm.
like you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have so much fun. Like life is just starting. And then 22,
Yeah.
like
That's
it
it's so
hits you.
scary. 22 is such a scary age.
22
you
is
guys.
such
Oh
an
my
old
God.
age.
It's
Dude,
so
when I
scary.
turned 22,
You
I'm
look
like-
back
It's just
at
like-
22-year-olds and be like, you're old, and now we're literally
now
that.
we're 22.
Yeah.
It's
Literally
so
that.
I
scary.
feel like you get these responsibilities handed to you, and you're
Yep.
like, yo, I did not like, oh, I need a job now. Okay, I got a job. Okay, well, I gotta go like pay for insurance now. Okay, I paid for insurance. Damn. Okay, I gotta start thinking about doing something else, getting a house, whatever. Right? And I feel like there's a lot of things that get thrown on you. Don't even think about it.
All right, so winding back to when you started college, right? Day one of college. Do you guys think? Did you think that you'd be sitting where you are right now, the person that you are today,
No.
in
Not
a
at
positive or
all.
negative way?
Positive for sure. Because I
Positive.
feel like a lot
I'm-
of things happened that had
yeah.
they happened 4 years ago, I don't know if I would have dealt with them as well as I have. Because I think the thing is, and we've talked about in other episodes, right? High school drama is petty drama.
Yeah.
College drama, like, yo, that's some real stuff.
It's serious.
Like, there's some
Mhm.
issues going on there, like, for real reasons. And people, especially at schools, liberal as DePaul, like, they don't care. Like, they'll speak out about your issues.
Facts.
So I think for me, at least, like, I mean, and whatever trajectory it's taken, you know, it might not have been exactly what I thought.
Mhm.
It happened.
Yeah. I think, like, you know, I said I had, like, these regrets thinking about myself in high school, but if I thought about, like, if I look back at these almost 4 years that I've had in college, I don't think I have any sort of, like, that same regret that I did of high school me. I definitely don't. And I'm content, even though, like, you know, like, crazy things have happened that changed my life, but still, I'm grateful for that because of who I am today.
Yo, I'm with Unum, though. I wish I worked less.
You wish what?
I wish I
Work
worked
less.
less.
Yeah.
That's all we did.
Dude,
Like,
I
all
would-
those all-nighters for school, and then waking up early to go to work.
Dude, well, at one point, like, I was a
Yeah.
manager at Express, right? So, like, I got paid the extra dollar, mind you.
Dollar.
I
Dollar,
know.
mind
He
you.
emphasized
And,
the dollar.
Yeah, because for that
Back then
dollar,
it meant a lot.
I would work. I would like whatever they wanted. I'd be like, yeah, for sure, I got it. So
For a dollar.
you want a Wednesday night, 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. so I could set up the store. Yo, I got it for sure, bro.
Yeah.
Pay my extra dollar. And then
Oh
9
my
a.m. class, and I was like,
God.
Yep.
yo, looking back, I'm like, damn, that was stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably don't realize it now, but I'm sure there's so much you still learn from that.
Yeah, you probably
That you got
definitely
out of
learned
it.
from
Even
that.
for that one extra dollar.
I'm never dealing with people again, bro. If you walk up to me and say, does this coupon work? I'm gonna walk away. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
well, yeah.
doing.
4 years ago, you would not be
Retail.
having that same answer.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
retail.
you
feel like
got taken advantage of
PTSD.
in retail instead of being taken advantage of in the work life.
I got.
Actually, you're still working a lot of hours. I don't know.
I am working a lot of hours.
Yeah.
I'm getting paid, bro. I sold my soul for the dollar bill.
It'd be
Oh
like
my
that though
God.
for
It
tuition
is.
money. If you go to Loyola or like DePaul or something,
yeah.
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Regrets.
I guess for me, alhamdulillah, I'm really happy with what happened throughout college
Mhm.
between freshman year to senior year to graduating to post grad, and like I never thought that I'd ever have like a life roadmap.
Yeah.
Like I always thought like I'd take it day by day, step by step, whatever my parents told me I'll do.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I gotta be independent, make these
Make some
decisions for myself.
decisions.
You're thinking
and
for
it feels
yourself.
good when you make decisions for yourself and ends up working out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like alhamdulillah, if something works out, you're like, dang, I actually did
I
something.
know,
I feel like
right?
you're growing up.
Because you feel accomplished.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's
alhamdulillah, I'm
great.
proud. 'Cause I never thought I'd be able to take that step.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah.
I
Hold
think
on, what's up here?
my biggest thing was, I know you guys are giving like general thing, and generally like alhamdulillah I'm really happy too, but I think the biggest thing I always think of is my journey from being kind of lost with my deen to like actually finding it.
Mhm.
It you know it's kind of something that you just can't really explain until you kind of go through it, and inshallah I hope
That's
everyone
true.
goes through it. But I think my biggest like example is I would never have thought to wear the hijab. Like you're looking at best hair senior superlative in high school. Like I got that award, so I was all into my hair.
Someone
like,
fact check. She
love-
isn't gassing herself up.
What? No, I mean, I'm
Let her
proud
have her
of
moment.
it.
This
Let
is
her
the
be
moment
proud.
where you could toot your little horn,
Yeah,
right?
me too, my little horn. I still have a little certificate that was printed out.
Oh my god.
But I honestly didn't think I would wear it. Like, I just, in general, I just wasn't, like, someone that I wanted to, like tell the whole world I'm Muslim. Like, it's not that I was embarrassed of it. I don't know. I just think I didn't find my journey. But alhamdulillah, like, after finding Muslim people, after, you know, having a really good environment, just being in, you kind of, like, you become mature. You just become a whole different person. At least, like, that's how it was for me after graduating high school. Like, the whole journey from high school to college, that, like, with my deen and, like, learning about Islam and just everything like that, like, that has shaped me so much. And I think the reason I've been able to stay sane when I talk about, like, being too stressed and being overwhelmed is because of, like, my deen and because of Islam and just everything that comes with it. So for me, that's, like, it's really my biggest, like, I hold on to it so much, and that's why I talk about it so much to, like, other people in high school. Like, there's going to be a time where you just realize, like, okay, nothing else matters, and it's, like, it's your faith, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That was powerful, man.
I
She made a
know.
dude, I feel like, honestly, like, when you go through life, it's just this giant puzzle, right?
Yeah.
Like, this nice little 1,000-piece puzzle. You know, you finish middle school, you get, like, the border of it, so you can see the picture, but you don't really know what's going on,
Yeah.
right? You get a little more going in high school. And I feel like in college, you get a huge dump. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, now I can see, like, what's supposed to be, right? I feel like for you, like, yeah, you got that
Yeah, I
huge dump
got-
of puzzle pieces. You put them all together. You're like,
I got
oh, okay.
that water park, water bucket
Yeah,
thing.
you
that
got like
dump
you got an ice bucket challenge.
Yeah, oh yeah. But alhamdulillah for
Oh,
that.
Lord.
What are your, if you could give somebody a takeaway right now, right, regardless of grade level, like, what is your one big takeaway?
Wait, did Naj just say yet?
What did I
Yeah.
say?
Did you say if you're happy, proud?
Yeah.
You did? Okay, Masana, you did too?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear y'all, man. Shoot.
Pay attention. You're literally not.
I
I can
only
sum it
heard
for
hers
you.
because she had like a whole long
Yeah,
rant.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry,
You guys were
mine
like, yeah,
forever.
yeah. And
Anna
Anna was
went
like,
monologue.
so let me
Yeah.
tell
I
y'all.
talk 5 minutes and then I
Bro,
pause for 10 minutes and then I talk
I'm gonna
about it.
summarize
me,
for you,
though.
bro.
All right,
Naz
summarize.
just said she got creative.
Okay.
You said you
Yeah,
got
come
independent.
on.
No, I know mine.
Anna found her deen,
Great. And then what was yours?
and I worked.
You worked.
I worked.
That was your takeaway?
I got paid. No, that's not my takeaway.
No, I'm saying,
I
were you
summarized it for
proud?
you.
Were you proud?
I mean, dude, I feel like at some extent you're always gonna look back and say, "Yo, I wish I did this. Or, I wish I did
But
that."
what outweighs more? Like, are you more proud of yourself or are you more disappointed in yourself? Not just,
I
like,
don't know.
really?
I
It's a
don't know.
balance.
I think
Yeah,
I'm just.
I feel like it's a
proud of it.
balance,
Neutral.
you know, because you're always like, you know, you did the things you did intentionally, right? And I feel like you guys made a great point on the hijab podcast, right? When you make a decision, remember why you're doing
Yeah.
it, right? And if you remember why you're doing it, you can't be upset at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But obviously, you can always look back and be like, damn, like I wish I had met more people. I wish I'd gone to more events. I wish like I had more time to do this, this, and this.
I feel like you
know?
will fall into a hole though if you keep thinking about all those things. So that happens
Yeah.
at every
That was gonna
day.
be my takeaway.
Yeah, every day of your. Oh, is it? Yeah.
That was my
Okay,
takeaway.
all right. I'm
But-
gonna say that for you to say that.
Go ahead. Go. No,
All
no,
right,
no.
but
It's
so
all good.
before-
Finish it.
Before we do our takeaway and our closing advice, we're sitting here in our 20s, early 20s right now. Where do you guys see yourselves 10 years
Oh
from
my
now?
God.
Knowing that 10 years
10
ago,
years?
Oh my
10 years from now,
gosh.
knowing that 10
So
years
when we're,
ago,
like 32.
knowing that
Yeah.
10 years ago,
Yeah.
you're nothing like what you thought you would be.
32. Oh my god, that's so weird.
Where do you guys see yourselves at 32?
I don't know, bro.
Are we being specific?
Yeah, we're being specific because I have a list.
I have a list too.
On the-
Okay,
wait,
let's refrain from
How
the
about-
list.
No,
Let's
no,
Oh,
I want to hear it.
Okay,
Come
fine.
on,
All right,
why do
sorry.
you guys have a
That's
list?
it.
You say your list, I'll say my list.
Can we check if it's the same thing?
I don't have a
Married,
list.
inshallah.
Married, inshallah.
Kids, inshallah.
Kids, inshallah.
A good job, inshallah.
I want my
that I'm
business.
happy
I want my
in.
business to like prosper.
Okay,
That's what.
inshallah. A happy life, inshallah.
Yes,
I
inshallah.
want to travel.
What does a happy life mean?
Yeah, right.
A happy, content life.
What does that mean?
I'm not stressed as much as I am right now.
Okay.
I think that's for me. That's
So you're more
content.
relaxed. You're
Yeah,
peace-
I'm more
you're
relaxed. I'm more
peace.
happy. I'm content with everything going
Yeah.
on in my life. Personal. What else is there?
Yeah, what else you got on your
Personal
list?
Is that what you're
work.
hoping, or is that what you think is going to be happening in the next 10 years?
My plan is to work on myself right now to where I'm
To
I'm
get to
content.
that.
Like I think I beat
Okay.
myself over too much,
Uh-huh.
and I'm just working on giving myself a break and telling myself I'm doing the best I can.
Mental health's
So,
real.
Mental
Yep.
health is real. So
Mhm.
that's my plan.
Yeah.
To have
Alright,
a
Naz,
better
it's your
mental
turn.
Is
health.
that your
Yeah.
list?
Okay, my list is I want to be married. I want to have kids. I
Inshallah,
want
inshallah.
like 2 cats.
You already have one, so I'm going to put half a
Yeah.
finger for
No,
that.
but I can't take my cat away from my parents. I have
So
to
she
get my own
wants 2 of her
cat.
own.
I have to
Yeah.
get my own cats.
What breeds?
I really like Maine Coons, but those are like $2,000.
I don't know what that is. All right, go on.
Why
Anyways.
you asked that
I don't,
question?
I don't
Yeah,
know. I
why'd
don't know
you
either.
ask?
I only know like white hairs, Bengal kittens.
Okay,
and
okay. Yeah, you move
ragdoll
on your list.
cats.
Ignoring-
Take your
yeah.
next part of your list,
Okay.
please.
So yeah, I want to have 2 cats. I definitely want my business to prosper.
Inshallah.
Jewelry.
Like at a
Inshallah.
point, yeah, like where I think it's like pretty successful enough to like it's a sustainable
Passive income?
Yeah, I just want to be proud of it.
Mhm.
And honestly, I think that's enough for me. Like if my kids are healthy, if my family overall is happy, we're on our zine, if we're just at peace with each other in our lives, then that's all I want.
Quick note, do you guys realize how now it's the little things that matter?
Yes.
Before, we took that as a given.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'll be happy. I'm going to college. Like,
You
it'll be
never,
fun.
you just think like, whatever.
Duh.
No, now it's the
But I
little
want to
things.
intern here, and I
These
want to
little
do that, and I
things.
want all this, and I want all that.
All I'm gonna say is that I
What
don't know
about
any
you
dude
guys?
that has a list. So
Make a list.
I don't have a list
I don't
off
have
the top
a
of my
list.
head.
Generally say,
Okay.
what do you
I
guys
feel like you
want?
guys said a lot of things that are like, yeah, I would hope by 32,
Yeah,
like,
I would hope by
I would
32.
hope that we're both married. and that
But
we both
then,
have
would you
kids,
be so
right?
disappointed in yourself if that didn't happen?
Yes.
That's the thing, and you can't
I
put
would.
yourself in that situation where, like, oh my
Or,
God,
like,
I
if
had
this
this
one
goal.
thing didn't happen, then everything else that you've done falls apart.
Yeah, like you can't have an amazing family and amazing kids if you're not married, right? Boom, that's one thing
I don't
off.
know, man. Now
Like,
this has a cat.
I'm not saying it's not gonna
You're
happen. I'm not
reading my
saying.
list.
I'm not saying it's not
has
gonna.
cats though.
Not just cats. What if you can't get 2 cats? What if
It's
your
okay, I
What if
will
your house or
sacrifice a
apartment
cat.
could only hold
It's
0?
fine. I will sacrifice a cat for like
Apartment
another
my
5
God.
years. We'll
Oh.
transition
Okay,
into the
what's
next
your
10
guys'?
years.
What's your
Okay.
guys' thing?
Are we going with like getting married?
I don't
and
have a
kids and
list,
given?
but I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Just be general.
I feel like
I just
feel
want to be
Generally,
like-
happy, bro.
generally.
Yeah, I feel like you and I
There
are
we
in the
go.
same
Mental
boat.
happiness.
There we go.
Mental
Just chill.
fortitude, being confident in my own skin and my own body with the decisions that I make.
Yeah. Just being strong
Um,
enough that no matter what comes in, like, yeah, you take it. Because
Being able
definitely
to
when
support
That's
my
so
parents.
important, yeah.
when you're younger, like every problem seems like the world's falling on you, and it's not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that we need to work on.
Yeah.
Even right now, like I feel like when I get stressed, it's literally like the end of the
Mhm.
world for me sometimes.
That's why I said
But that
it's
is
mental
something
health.
that we need to work on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Imagine you're looking at the camera, and that's you right now in high school, freshman year. What advice are you telling yourself?
Ooh.
Everything will be okay. Just
Damn.
do whatever you want. Well, not whatever you want.
Don't do whatever you want.
Don't
Don't
whatever
listen
you
to her.
Listen to your parents.
Don't do whatever you want.
But just keep in
Um,
mind what you want. Keep your visions like keep your focus balanced. Like what you want, what you think is logical enough. Like put it together, create something, come up with like some sort of plan, and just try to follow it, but also go with the flow. Like it's okay if things go wrong. These things always go wrong. I feel like that's the one thing that I fail to understand throughout all these years of my life, that things will go wrong, and it is like the end of the world for me, and I am learning to fix that, but it's okay because things will always go wrong. But you just have to have faith, have tawakkul that everything will be okay.
Yeah.
Tawakkul.
I was gonna
Love it.
say that, but
Tawakkul.
I guess
I'm sorry.
I'll find something else to say. I guess
sorry.
if you're growing up, I think we have a lot of, especially when you're going into high school, you have a lot of attachment issues, right? You're trying to keep everything the same when something's changing a lot.
Yeah, that's
And I think that's in
me.
any situation. When
Yeah.
things start to change, you like consistency. But don't be afraid to flip to the next page in the book, right? Like, it's a long book. Flip the page. Like, figure out what else happens.
I
If
like
you get
that.
stuck on a page for too
I
long,
really like that
you're
because
not getting anywhere.
Yeah,
We're only
sure.
22, bro. Like, inshallah, may Allah give us a long, healthy life. But, like,
Inshallah.
based on average time lengths, we're, like, not even halfway there yet. So,
Yeah.
we still got so much life
We have
to
so
live,
much to
inshallah.
get
The
yeah.
best
through,
things
yeah.
are yet to come.
Definitely.
Inshallah,
And
yeah.
we don't think that, we just think like, this is it, There's nothing
Shout out
else
Kobe.
to sort of look
Shout out
forward to, but oh my
Yeah.
God, there's so much in life.
Anam Jamal, what are your takeaways?
Literally, mine is look at the things that you put your time and energy into. This is high school me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch where you're putting your time and energy into, because the things that you put your time and energy into weren't worth it. But yeah, I think that was mine for high school. What?
You're throwing shade at yourself,
yeah,
huh?
literally. You're
Yeah.
like giving yourself some attitude.
At least it's me and
You're
not
like,
anyone
bro, why
else.
were you so stupid?
I could expose.
Literally, it's just
someone.
like, I was so stupid. I was so stupid.
I was, but I'm here because of everything that happened to
Exactly.
me earlier. So,
What's
alhamdulillah
up,
for
Jamal? Wrap us up here,
everything.
bro.
Wait, Masani,
Um,
what was that one thing you were gonna say?
No, he said it.
You said it.
He just interrupted
No.
you and said
You
it.
said it.
No, because remember he was like, oh, I have this weird, stupid story about
And I said I was
Nadia or
going to save
whatever.
it for the end.
Oh.
No. I know what you're talking about. We'll get back to it off camera.
Oh my God, I'm scared.
All right,
case I'm wrong.
I would say give yourself a purpose to wake up every day and put in your 100% each day. But make
Oh.
a
Good
list
one.
of 3 things, 4 things, 5 things, even if it's 1 or 2 things, to like wake up and just be like, you know what, I'm gonna drive myself because this is my goal and I'm gonna eventually inshallah reach it.
Wake
And that'll
up
give you
and
purpose.
Wake up and go get what you want.
Yes.
Find a purpose,
Find
bro.
a purpose.
Find a
yeah.
purpose, whether it's your jewelry brand, whether
Yeah.
that's working
right?
hard and getting that paycheck, whether that's paying off that tuition. No, I'm
Yeah,
playing.
No, honestly, I would love that.
Making a
but-
We
Yeah,
got
like
this,
that
you guys.
little
We got
picture.
this. We have a
Yeah.
long life ahead of us, inshallah.
All right.
Yo, with that said, though, thank you for watching. Looking forward to more episodes.
Sounds good. Salams.